Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome to the number one Group of Five college football show in the world. This is the Group of Five guys, and we're here. Our mission is to be the voice for the Group of Five football programs, the voice that the mainstream sports media absolutely refuses to be. We need your help to do that. Hit the follow button on all the social platforms at Group of Five guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Believe Network. Wherever you get your best podcast, subscribe to the channel, leave a 5-star rating and a review. Most importantly, tell your family and friends all about us. On this episode, we are about to unleash and unload all over the performances we saw last night. Some good, some horrendous. Then we're going to preview tonight's games and Saturday's games. Hope you enjoy the show. This is the Group of Five guys, and we are coming to you live.
They got Old Dominion week 3, and ODU is by no means a layup. Group of Five guys told me that, so that has to be true.
We looked at each other, we was like, Mike, the best place to be is a Group of Five. So I'm sitting here with the Group of Five guys, right?
Troy has won, it's been a winner, and it's a special place, so it's why you want the job.
But it's a ton of fun to watch a guy go to the NFL from a Nevada or a Colorado State or a Middle Tennessee or an App State, and fans follow that kid.
It was across there. You want to have this thing packed out, have the student section packed out, giving those guys hell on the sideline. I mean, that's part of it. I mean,
win or lose, like we're winning the tailgate.
There's no better place to be developed in this country than Boise State.
Well, Jeff, it is Friday. We've had a bunch of games already. We got a bunch of games tonight. We got a bunch of games tomorrow. Week 1 is fully underway, and it got started with a major upset. Not necessarily that South Florida won, but the way that they won. So we got to talk about that. But before we get going any further, by the way, don't let Mountaineer Matt or Statesboro Sprouse see this mug. Oh boy. I am
Chanticleers.
Yeah. Shout out Coastal Chanticleers. Hey, but shout out Decker Gray Coffee Company. You guys know, listen, we're getting up at Jeff 4:30. I'm getting up at 5 every morning to do this show. 6 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You need all the caffeine you can get, and Decker Gray is the best we have found. It's roast to order coffee. You go to the website, decagray.com. You pick out your flavor, your roast, your whole bean, your K-Cup, or your ground coffee. You put it in your cart. You put in the promo code GOFG, and you click order. That's when they roast it for you, send it right to you. So make sure you check out decagray.com, promo code GOFG for a discount. Also, I don't know if you were following the socials last night, but we and our friends at Level Sports Picks had a big night. Jeff, you in particular. But make sure you check out Level Sports Picks. If you're watching all these games, you want to make it a little more exciting. Put $1. You go in that Discord, you see people following the chat. Some people are, betting more than I can bet. Some people are betting $1. You put whatever you can, and that's the cool thing about Levels is you can calculate what is a conservative or aggressive number for you to be putting on these things. But Jeff, you had a big night in Levels.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Had a couple picks here on the screen. We had Wyoming money line and Buffalo plus 21.5. Nice. They covered at the end there. Buffalo holding on. And then, I kind of had a feeling that not only the Buffalo game, but that Boise State, South Florida game, I thought it was going to start a little slow. It sure did. Took the first half unders. Nice little payout last night. And then, like you said, our boys, Jay Vandy and the coach, man, cleaned up on baseball last night. So, I mean, I'm telling you, got baseballs finishing up. When the NBA gets here, they get into that. The NFL's getting ready to kick off. So if you like to put a little money on these games, they got some nice player props when the NFL gets here too. Jay Vandy loves the first quarter bets. Crushed it last year. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, and make sure you check out. Link is in our bio, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and it's on mine and Jeff's too, I believe. Make sure you check that out. Follow that link and join the Discord. Jeff, the South Florida Bulls I have been on this bandwagon for 3 or 4 years, Jeff, and they appear to have finally come to fruition. But boy, did they look good last night. And I think Byron Brown firmly planted his flag in the middle of the Heisman race with his performance last night. They looked really good defensively. You always worry about bringing in all these transfers, right? And it clicked for that South Florida defense. They were flying around. They were smacking. They looked the part too. Listen, I mean, on TV, that looked like a big time playoff caliber team. Just looking at the guys, boy, they look good. What a statement.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I really was excited about for South Florida. We knew Byron Brown and that offense, the skill guys I got, Chaz Nimrod was going to be able to go fly. But defensively, they just put the clamps on Boise State. So you got to give a ton of credit to South Florida opening up at home. We said they need this game. The next two are brutal. And if you come out of this with, 1 and 2 out of that stretch, I mean, that's a huge win for the Bulls. And I'm going to be honest, this performance they did last night defensively, and then you add what Byron Brown did offensively, not only with his arm finally, was able to hit some deep shots, but with his legs. I mean, he's like on the broadcast, they said he's like 220 or something, close to 230. Like, he's a big dude, and he's hard to get down. So shout out to him. And defensively, man, Jalen Schuler and Deshaun Rucker both had double-digit tackles last night. I mean, they were all over the field making plays. And before we really dig into Boise State and how frustrating that was, especially for me from a betting perspective, they blew my 15-leg parlay. Would have paid out $1,000, Sprouse. Come on. I mean, just can't do it. Not Boise.
No.
But credit South Florida.
Yeah, credit South Florida. And I'll say one other thing about Byron Brown is, hey, be careful, man. We need you. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Like, he was seeking, that what he had in the end zone, he's looking to lower the shoulder, and he doesn't need to all the time. And I'll just say, like, South Florida's going to go as he goes. And we said that, anything other than 0-3. And when you win in this fashion, because listen, Boise's probably going to end up being just fine. They'll probably still win the Mountain West. They'll probably be more competitive against Notre Dame than they were against South Florida. I think. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. So now, if you're any of the top teams in the American, even if Boise runs the table, it beats Notre Dame, and South Florida loses to both Miami and Florida, and you might have 2 losses, 3 losses in American champion. You can say, well, wait a minute, we went head-to-head, and we won this thing by 3.5 touchdowns, and it wasn't close. So what a statement win for South Florida for the entire American Conference, and just what a brutal start for really all of the Mountain West now. I mean, Boise looked that bad. UNLV got the win, the other night, but they looked bad. Hawaii got the win, but their quarterback potentially gets hurt.
Wyoming last night struggled with Akron. I mean, it was 3-0 going into the fourth quarter, I believe. So they got the win ultimately at 10 to zip. But I mean, you think they'd be able to put up a few more points than 10 on Akron?
Yeah, well, and I, Jeff, I was so frustrated with Boise State from a play calling perspective because, look, I get it. You don't have Genty, you don't have the Heisman, should have been Heisman winner, but you still got a stable of backs. And the amount of first downs that they threw the ball on and dropped Madsen back, and we've talked about Madsen taking a step forward, but we don't mean going from game manager type, don't turn it over, to hero. And it seems like that's what they tried to make him last night. And you were having success running the ball. Sire Gaines and Malik Sherrod they had creases. They were breaking tackles. They were getting 4 or 5 yards a pop. 9 carries for Sire Gaines. 34 passing attempts for Madsen before the third quarter was over. I mean, you're Boise State, man. You just don't do that.
He ends up throwing the ball 46 times. And like you stated, this was before the game was even out of hand at that point. You have one of the best offensive lines in the entire country, and you're just making a point to not run the ball. I get it. Your running backs put it on the ground. Both Gaines and Sherrod had a fumble, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, after a big gain, though, by the way.
No, I know that. And then
what
Matson put it on the ground. The one slips out of his hands. Like, I've had that happen. Dude, it's hot. It's muggy. Like, you go to throw it. And unfortunately, as short quarterbacks, your hand, a lot of times we got a little bit smaller hands. And then you just go to draw it back and it slips out of your hands. But that was at the end of the game, right? Just my thing is, like you stated, why are we not leaning on the run game? That's what Boise State does. And then you go play action, and now you got some nice matchups on the outside. They just weren't doing it. And your defense, credit to them, like, kept you in the game when honestly it probably should have been quick, out of hand quicker. But man, just didn't get it, didn't understand it. But again, I think more credit goes to South Florida and the job that they did, especially starting out a little bit slow. They figured it out and just started to run away with it. And then having the balls to throw that fake punt, slipping that guy in there, and that, to me, that like swung the momentum all their way, and Boise couldn't recover from it.
Yeah, that and the late hit unnecessary roughness penalty on Banks early in the game, but you had a big 3-and-out, a big sack on Brown. And I thought, after that moment, that's when South Florida got that offense rolling. Because we've talked about that Alex Golish offense, because I typically get on here and talk about how much I hate that kind of offense. And if you saw the first drive or two, you saw fast screen for nothing, 3rd and long, 3-and-out, less than a minute. And you saw that happen early. And once they got that first down, they got the big play across the middle, and then they had that penalty, on the next drive that got that offense some room to work, and they started rolling ever since that. You mentioned Boise's defense keeping a minute. You see 31-7, and you think, I think 34-7 was the final. You think, how could the defense have played well? But especially that D-line, I mean, they did about as good a job as you can trying to contain Brown, and we talked about that. They were getting pressure, but you've got to find a way to keep him in there. And credit to Byron Brown. He just made plays and, breaks tackles. And then the other thing, Jeff, is that Boise secondary. It was a little bit suspect in that Fiesta Bowl that we got a chance to see. And South Florida's receivers were just running by people.
They did. And the last thing that I'll say about this game, because we had so much to get to,
I
is,
know.
When Byron Brown did get loose and started running around, I thought the tackling was very, very poor. I mean, you see a lot of guys throwing shoulders, trying to knock him out of the game. Buddy, get him on the ground. Like, one guy, the first guy to the pile, first guy to the running back, quarterback, ball carrier, you got to wrap him up. And then the second and third guy are the ones that can clean him up. Too many times they're diving or they're throwing shoulders and you miss tackles. And he was just, you're not going to get a dude that's that athletic and that big on the ground with a shoulder. You're just not. You got to tackle better.
Yeah, I want to say two other things, because you mentioned that when he did get loose. Shout out to the South Florida backs and receivers, because when Brown took off, they did a hell of a job getting downfield and trying to block for him, especially the running back made that big block on the one touchdown run. And then the other thing, again, not to go back to Boise, but I also didn't understand all the fourth downs that they decided to go for it on in their own territory halfway through the third. It's like a 10-point game, and then you're throwing the ball again. And again, you're putting, I get having to throw it late, but Jeff, maybe you could tell me if I'm wrong, but if I'm a quarterback and I'm just throwing incompletion after incompletion after incompletion, or, throwing my guys, throwing into coverage or having to throw into coverage, it's like now it's 4th and 8, 4th and 10, and you're asking me to throw it again, and you got no confidence that you can have anybody open or that you're going to be able to throw it. I don't know, man. I'm not typically one to get on play calling, but I didn't like it. I also didn't like when they would run the, a little play fake or play action. It was like a weird sort of fake draw. It just looked like a dead play. Like they were trying to fake them out that the play was over. So I don't know, man. There's a couple times last year when Boise came out flat like that. If you remember the Hawaii game, and I think it was the San Jose State game, they came out flat. and you're watching them like, we got expectations as a playoff team. This doesn't look like it. So South Florida sure as hell looked like it, though.
Yes, they did. Yes,
So
they did.
Credit to the Bulls. Hey, credit to it. By the way, every underdog last night covered. Every single one, right? Oh, well, I don't know. Did Stony Brook cover against San Diego State?
No,
I don't remember what that line was.
No.
Okay. Well, so, but the non-FCS games, Ohio at Rutgers, Parker Navarro, man. I mean, that guy is something special. He about willed them to that win.
In the Discord on Level Sports Pick, we were going back and forth. A couple people were pretty high on Rutgers and taking the spread. I said, let me just warn you right now. There's a kid on Ohio named Parker Navarro, and he is a absolute dog. He's going to give you a puncher's chance in any game, and sure enough, absolutely did. 239 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and then add another 93 yards on the ground in a tug. Like, he's out there. It looks like NCAA. It looks like the guys I play online, where their quarterback just gets back and he runs this way, and then he throws a touchdown pass. I mean, he is as advertised, and I love watching this kid play. Almost pulled it out, man. 34-31. And Rutgers is a good team. Like, offensively, they can move the ball. And shout out to Ohio for giving them every bit that they can handle.
Yeah, and I'll say one thing about Ohio. And I'm not going to get up here and claim moral victories for Ohio or for Miami or for East Carolina, because in every one of these games, there was a play or two. We've been talking about this for years, that you just cannot do in these games. And Ohio, of course, had the punt. Yeah, the bad snap goes into the end zone. Rutgers scores, and you just can't do it. I will add this, especially you can't do it on the road, and especially I don't think it was terrible last night, but you did have early in the game where Parker Navarro got lit up by his former teammate, by the way, that I hate targeting. I wish they'd remove the rule altogether. I think you should lead with the crown of your helmet. I think you should go helmet to helmet, but you can't. And to me, early in the game, that was an obvious roughing the passer with targeting, and they didn't call anything. They reviewed it and didn't call anything. So again, when you're in these games, you're on the road, you're the underdog, you got their officiating crew or whatever you got, you can't make the mistakes because you're fighting against so much, and they still almost pulled that thing out. But
they almost did, and 200 yards on the ground between Navarro and Bangura. He looked good, 86 yards, and then shout out Chase Hendricks, the wideout, 9 catches, 115 yards. What a performance by him as well. So, our question was preseason when we did our MAC preview, how is Ohio going to be with Tim Albin leaving? I love the continuity in Parker Navarro. He gives you a chance in any game.
He absolutely does. He's so fun to watch, man. Him and Brown, flipping back and forth between him and Byron Brown last night was so fun, man. So much fun. Lafayette at Bowling Green. Hey, Eddie George gets his first win. How about Bowling Green returning the opening kick to their season to the house? So, I mean,
big time stuff.
And then what you got?
I was just going to say real quick, only one offensive touchdown in this game. So you had a defensive touchdown, if I am not mistaken. Let me see here. I know you had the kickoff return. Yeah. So they get it done. Special teams is part of the game. They came ready to play. Defensively, they look good. Obviously, it's, Lafayette, but pounded the ball. It's what I thought Eddie George was going to do.
Yep. And here's the other game that we had a chance, but we spotted the home team about 17 points to get the game started. East Carolina, I tell you, man, you were tweeting about it. Their defense looked really good.
Yeah, it did. And that's what's going to keep, I think, ECU in a lot of games. Caden Hauser, he looked pretty good. Slow start for the entire team. To start the game. You can't get in a hole like that because then you're playing catch up. It just changes the way you can kind of call games specifically offensively. But I thought they looked good. Blake Harrell, we talked about it. He's building a program over there, and they're playing hard for him. And it was a welcome sight, that defense, because that was one thing I was worried about.
The best thing about that game, Jeff, is East Carolina didn't throw an interception. I mean, they threw it 44 times with Hauser and no interceptions. Now, you got to be able to get a yard when you have 2nd and 1 in the red zone about to tie the game or win the game if you go for 2. You got to be able to get a yard. They couldn't get a yard, and then they, on that 4th down, you got to get to the sticks, man. You got, no matter what, you got to get to the sticks before you catch it. But they look good. I mean, you don't know how good NC State is. That quarterback looks like a pretty good player from NC State.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Jack State at UCF, another one, man. Last night was heartbreaking, wasn't it?
So close on. I mean,
every
games.
Every time one game would end, I flipped to the other one, and I'm like, yeah, here now this one's we're gonna get this one, and every freaking one we lose by a damn touchdown. But Jack State had a bunch of delays. It's I don't know how they didn't get any weather in Tampa, or at least you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Orlando's only right across I-4 there, but your boy Cam Fancher came away with the win, Jeff.
Yeah, well, he only played.
He didn't play.
Very minimal. Taven Jackson ended up getting most of the burn, but Jacksonville State, this was down to the wire, tie ball game late in the game. Cam Cook looked really good. Gavin Wimsatt played well. He did have the interception, but Conference USA, I think, is going to be a lot better than a lot of people think.
Well, yeah, man. Teams like Jack State and Sam Houston that I thought would fall off just a little bit. So I thought, okay, we're back to Liberty and Western Kentucky. But if Jack State and Sam Houston are still good, and then if our Blue Raiders can figure something out, I mean, you're looking at a 5-6, you know what I mean? You're looking at a 5 or 6 team deep conference, and that's all you can ask for. I mean, we gotta get. It's only Thursday. Okay,
it's early. That's the thing.
We got a couple more chances, but
very early.
Delaware got the win. They started pretty slow now. First Delaware State had a big pick 6 to kind of seal it. Looked like a great crowd though.
Yeah, and they didn't. I can't remember the exact line. It was a lot of points, and they did not cover. But Nick Minucci, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns for the Blue Hens. Good performance to start the year. Excited to see even more of them. You just never know with these opening games. You just don't. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. We see it every year where, you talk about Boise going down or having a poor performance, but you get the win. Nobody's going to remember it. Just get the win and move on.
Yeah. Oh, well, 100%. And then especially, in these FCS games, I mean, again, like we talked about last show, we lost one in our probably the best team we had at middle. And then we went on to win a whole bunch of games. St. Francis at Monroe, ULM gets it done there. And then Wyoming at Akron. It's hard to tell. You don't know. Is Akron's defense pretty good, or is Wyoming's offense still struggling?
Yeah, I mean, Caden Anderson was productive, did have an interception, and then Sam Scott with 132 yards on the ground. It was just kind of like an ugly game back and forth, and I think Wyoming showed me more than I expected going into the season. Still got a long way to go, and then Akron just struggles, man. They just can't move the ball. I mean, just barely over 200 yards of total offense. I'll give Wyoming some credit defensively, but it's just Akron's struggling, man. It's just hard.
Yeah, that's a tough place to be. Buffalo, we liked this one going. This is one we probably liked the best, just because of their defense. Their defense as advertised. However, it looks like Minnesota's defense as advertised as well, because they were pretty damn good. I mean, Buffalo couldn't get really anything going offensively. And Minnesota's quarterback had some big-time plays, made a big throw at the end there, put the game away. But I like this Buffalo team a lot.
Me too. It was a slugfest early on, too, and that's one that I loved the first half under. I thought it was going to go this way. Take one, Roberson. I keep wanting to say Robertson. Roberson. He started slow, but he came on towards the end of the game. And what I liked is he did a very good job at protecting the ball. He didn't make any crazy dangerous throws. And then Victor Snow, huge touchdown late in the game that brought it within 3 points. I just want to see them commit a little bit more to this run game. You have Aljae Henderson back there, and credit Minnesota's defense now, but he's one snap away from breaking it all, for a touchdown. I just pound him a little bit more. You only gave him the ball 11 times. With that offensive line, I just think volume, man, you got to get it up a little bit. 15, 18 carries, and you'll see some better numbers there.
We've been talking about the D value of the running back for a few years. And then after last season, I kept getting on here talking about the running back position has sort of revamped itself. It's with Genty's season, with the season Saquon Barkley had in the NFL. And you got these great running backs. And these coordinators don't want to run them. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess I think they might get in their head. It doesn't work once or twice, and they think they got to throw it out,
Yeah.
But yeah, and he looked. There you should get a close-up shot of him on the TV. Boy, I mean, that guy's a unit, huh?
Yeah, he is. And shout out Red Murdoch, 16 tackles, 1 sack. Yeah. He was everywhere, man. And I can't remember the Minnesota's running back's name, but a couple of times he got up, and you could just see it. He was like, "Damn, that one hurt."
Yeah. It's funny, Buffalo. And by the way, Sean Dolak made the team. By the way, made the 53. But you wonder how they're going to replace all the tackles Sean Dolak had. Well, Murdoch's just going to double. He's just going to double up and get all of them. But again, same thing though. You're driving at the end of the half there to make it what would have been a 7-6 game, and then you miss a field goal, and then Minnesota goes down and scores right away, and separates it. It's these games, man. 1 or 2 plays, even in the blowouts, even in the Boise State blowout, if you don't get that that unnecessary roughness penalty, you just don't know. You're going to get the ball there with good field position. It's just 1 or 2 plays makes these games go one way or another. How long's Trent Dilfer going to keep that job, you think, Jeff?
Boy, I mean, they were losing in this game. You sent me the screenshot of the score. I was like, this ain't a good situation. That defense couldn't stop Alabama State for most of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
they got it done.
You got the win. So it's
and you can't get up here and say, well, this one is going to get the coach fired, but the Bowling Green one is fine, or the UNLV one is fine. But UAB is not trending positively at the moment. And so that was
Kidna put up good numbers. Jackson, the running back, had 17 carries, 166 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But it's against Alabama State. You can't give up 42 points to Alabama State. And this is not a knock to them. This is just look at the offenses that are in the American Conference. If you want to compete and try and make, the conference championship game and win it, you can't be that porous on defense.
Yeah. Then you go to Miami at Wisconsin. Miami didn't even score. So that's a little bit frustrating. Their defense kept them in it, though. And that's what we've said is for a while now. The defense has been good, and their offense goes as the quarterback goes, which had been Gabbert for so long. DeQuan Finn, 9 of 18, 2 interceptions. That ain't going to get it done.
No, it's not. 11, 12 yards of total offense by Miami. I'm gonna give credit to Wisconsin's defense. They got to figure it out though offensively. That you can't be that inept. And like you said, credit to Miami's defense. This is the Chuck Martin way, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm gonna chalk this up as a stout Wisconsin defense, just bottling them in.
Yep. And then the last one of the night was Stony Brook at San Diego State. San Diego State gets that one done. And that's the game you want out of when you're playing an FCS. Just get in there. Nothing fancy, really. Just score. Don't turn it over, right? 42-0. Denegal 13-25, 208, and a touchdown.
Lucky Sutton, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is the Aztec way. Great defense, run the ball, and then be able to throw it on the back end. So shout out to San Diego State. You did exactly what you should have done. week
Yep.
1. So credit to them.
Yep. Well, and hey, you're about the only Mountain West team that did do what you're supposed to do in week 1.
That's
So,
true,
I mean, we still got half of them still got to play, but so far it has not been pretty for the Mountain West. So let's get into these games for tonight. Before we do that, Jeff, you want to shout out who we have in the chat on the YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. We got Blazer Bobcat in the chat. Shay Gordon's in there. Joe Judkins is in there. Expose Yosef is also in there. Jim Cowart, what's up, Jim? Numbers Matter in Football account is also in there. So we got a bunch of people in the live chat going back and forth on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way, every time we go live or drop something, it sends you a nice little notification at the top of your phone. And there's always just great conversation going back and forth.
And by the way, hey, Joe, on your last voicemail, thanks for shouting out the wives because they appreciated it. That bought us another couple of years of this thing, Joe. So to keep it coming, I'll keep sending you the checks in the mail. But anyway, hey, let's go. We got a bunch of games, and we've been trying to keep these shows right at an hour because I've got a little bit of a new work schedule. In case you didn't know, Jeff and I have jobs outside of this, as well as 3 kids, all boys and wives. So we're trying to keep this at an hour, get it done before 7 Eastern so that we can help with the morning routine and get to work in a timely manner. Tonight, Tarleton State at Army. Tarleton State, future Group of 5 member. Tarleton State at Army. CBS Sports Network.
Dwayne Coleman, excited to see him in his debut. What kind of Army offense are we going to see? Is it going to be the typical under center, veer, triple option? Or maybe we get a little more gun action out of Dwayne Coleman. We'll see that. 14.5 is the line for Army. Buy that down a little bit. I could see that happening.
Yeah. Then you got Western Michigan at Michigan State. Can the MAC continue to give the Big Ten all the problems in the world? That's at 7:00 on FS1.
Feed Jalen Buckley. Give him 15 to 20 carries and just see what he can do. That's my statement.
Let's not throw it all over the place, huh? Like everybody else is trying to do. Let's keep that thing. 21.5 will be tough. Again, we don't know about Michigan State, though. Kennesaw State at Wake Forest. I don't have a whole lot on this game, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be tough sledding for Kennesaw State, but you want to see him compete, hang in this game as long as you can, and you never know. You keep it to a 1-score game towards the end in the fourth quarter, you can steal it. But I think it's going to be tough sledding. They're 17.5-point dogs on the road. Not touching this game from betting standpoint.
Yep, and then the big one tonight, App State, technically at Charlotte in the Dukes Mayo Classic in Charlotte in the Panther Stadium. I got to tell you, man, I was really leaning App State, but then not that one has anything to do with each other, but I'm a little nervous for App that Charlotte in the portal maybe clicks in the same way that South Florida just did. Mm-hmm. And they may have some guys. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I would stay totally away from this because I think it could go either way. But like I talked about in the conference preview shows, big momentum game for either team that both need some positive momentum going into this season. I think it's a back and forth slugfest, though.
Shout out Tim Albin, opener at Charlotte. Yeah, they technically are at home. But App State's going to travel well. 5.5-point dogs. You know, I love a home dog, Sprousey. I like that number. Bump it up a couple points as well. I think this is going to be a tight game. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. I think probably pretty low scoring. Interested to see how Charlotte and that defense loaded up in the portal. So that's what I'm interested to see. And then, App State knew just about everybody, new scheme. Dow Loggins, first game at App. So
they got
should be a fun one.
Yeah, it should be a good game with a good crowd.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. Bethune-Cookman going down to Miami with the Fighting Willie Simmons at FIU. I think FIU gets it done to get this thing started.
Yeah, I want to see this offense and Keon Jenkins start fast and finish hard. 82 degrees at kickoff, Sprouse in South Florida. You can't beat that.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Late tonight, you got UNLV at Sam Houston, both trying to get a bounce back. I know UNLV won, but they didn't look pretty. Sam Houston lost, but didn't look terrible. So interesting. I want to hear your thoughts on this, but I'm really worried about UNLV's defense. And I think Hunter Watson and McCaskill are going to give them all kinds of problems. And I'm almost taking Sam Houston to win this thing.
That's exactly where I was going to go. Can this defense figure it out from a week ago? I'm not so sure they can. And like we saw with Ohio and Parker Navarro, Hunter Watson, dynamic dual threat quarterback, one of the best athletes on the field. He's going to give you a chance in this game. 1,000%. So, yeah, I'm leaning towards Sam Houston too. Not sure I'm going to take it, but plus 9.5. Again, push that line up a little bit more. Take another game, that you like. That's, money line or something that it's going to hit. You'll get plus money out of it. It's a great bet.
It's one of these where, like we just talked about, I think could happen, but also UNLV could just click and
very
look
true.
like the team that a lot of people thought was going to make the playoff. So,
yeah. What's the over under in that game? 61
and a half. Yep.
I could see it. I mean, what was it last week at Western? 40 to 41-21 or something?
Yeah.
That's 62. I think Sam Houston will score more than they did a week ago.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. And then the late one tonight, 10:30 p.m. FS1, Central Michigan at San Jose State. I like Central Michigan, but I like San Jose State. Now they're about the only hope we have right now in the Mountain West to come out, because I've got them in the championship game. Now, not that this matters for the Mountain West, but I think San Jose State, Ken Niumatalolo, I think they'll be prepared, right? I mean, it's kind of what these Mountain West teams have looked like this first week so far, is unprepared. I don't think that happens with him. But you just don't know, man.
Yeah, I like San Jose State in this game. I'm probably going to take them to. I'll probably take the points as well. I just think San Jose State's a really good team. Love Matt Drinkle and company coming across the country, though. They got a tough, road start to their season. Give me the Spartans in this one.
Yep. So that's all the games for tonight. Let's get into the Saturday games. We'll start in the American, Jeff, if you're looking at your notes there. FAU at Maryland. Jeff, the over-under 61.5 on this. I think surely, I don't know a whole lot about Maryland, but surely FAU is going to put up numbers in this game offensively. Now, and I don't think that they're good enough defensively to stop anybody, really. So I don't see them stopping even Maryland.
Yeah, you got to think Zach Kitley in his debut with Caden Veltkamp and those slew of receivers on the outside, they're going to throw it 40, 50 times a game. Gotta believe that they're going to put up points. So yeah, I'm with you. I like the over in play here, and especially with the question marks like you mentioned on FAU's defense.
Jeff, is this the year for all of my Florida teams? It's funny, man. I've been on this South Florida bandwagon for 3 or 4 years, and they've always had the talent, and they've just never been able to do it. But this year, I kind of took a step off, came off the bandwagon a little bit, and here we go. I'm right back on it. I mean, immediately back on it. And, FAU, very similar in a way that they've always got the guys and they just never seem to put it all together. But maybe Zach Kitley gets it done down there. Big one, Jeff. This is the only one where I think it's the only one we've got at home, and it's the only one we're favored in. Tulane, 4.5-point favorites at home against Northwestern. And here's the thing, if you're Tulane, your first 4 games are rough. I mean, good games. You get Northwestern, you get South Alabama, you get Duke, and then you get Ole Miss. If you're Tulane, if you come out of that thing 2-2 or 3-1, you got a damn good chance, because then you're looking at that point, if Tulane comes out of that, we'll see what Army and Navy do. They'll start the season fast because their tougher games are at the end of the year. The American is going to be in a really, really, really good spot. But what you can't have, what would put Boise State right back in this, is Tulane loses to Northwestern, Tulane loses to Duke, Tulane loses to Ole Miss, and then goes and wins the American. That's what you can't have.
No, you can't. You can't have that. And I'm not sure if they've announced Retzlaff is going to be the starter. To me, I think he's got to be. But you return production at the wide receiver position. A lot of transfers coming in at running back. But man, this defense, this is what Tulane and Coach Summerall is going to hang their hat on. Mo Westmoreland, get after this quarterback, affect the game. I think Tulane at home, it's going to be a sold out crowd, should be packed house. I think they get the win. I think they handle business.
I like it. I need it. That's a noon kickoff, right? ESPN2 or ESPNU, I believe it is.
We got ESPNU. Yep. Yeah. Noon kickoff.
At noon. You got to love that because I'm certainly not going to watch. Can I say something, Jeff?
Please do.
Okay. So I'm all about the expanded playoff and all this stuff. But so they're making a huge deal out of this Texas-Ohio State game when in reality that game means nothing because they're both going to make the playoff anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these teams that are starting the season preseason number one and they're propped up in these mighty conferences, which by the way, the Big Ten, I don't want to hear anything about the mighty Big Ten because you're probably middle of the road teams. Okay, just played home games against the MAC, who's probably the most disrespected conference in the country, and they all got everything they had to beat the little old MAC at home. So when Ohio State goes and beats Minnesota later in this year, I don't want to hear about it being a great Big Ten win because what's the difference? Anyway,
Right.
But these games, these big games, like, do they matter? Really? I mean, Miami and Notre Dame play, Alabama and Florida State play, LSU and Clemson. Those games could go anyway, and all of those teams they'll still be top 25.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what. So these games, Northwestern at Tulane, that's a big game. That's a meaningful week one game. Anyway, we got to get moving, but I like Tulane also. I think old Johnny Summerall's got them boys. I can't wait. I love this so much, Jeff. I love football so much, dude. VMI at Navy. Can we get the Blake Horvath Heisman campaign started? Can we get a bunch of American QBs? Can we get Retzlaff, Byron Brown, Blake Horvath? Can we get them all in this thing?
Americans deep. Shout out to Horvath and Eli Heidenreich. Big time player.
What about Temple at UMass? Interesting game.
It is a very interesting game. Casey Keeler in his opener.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch this
back
Temple
up in
team.
the Northeast where he belongs, playing against another team that they'll be recruiting against.
Yep.
UMass, welcome to the group of five. Welcome to the MAC. This is no idea. It's a pick 'em pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with you. Jay Ducker coming over from Sam Houston, running back, very talented. So excited to watch this one.
Chattanooga at Memphis. Memphis big. Want to see 27.5. I'm surprised. I think that's a little low, to be honest with you, but I think Memphis big.
Yeah, I agree with you. Can't wait to see quarterback coming over from Nevada, Brendan Lewis.
Yep. UTSA going to Texas A&M. Just don't turn it over. Owen McCown, keep this one. We'll see. UTSA tends to not look great in these kind of games, and then they end up looking a lot better when they get to conference play. So I don't like our chances for the runners there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough sledding, going on the road into a hostile environment. But yeah, this is a team though that should be able to weather the storm early. Like, you got experience, you got a lot of guys coming back. You have great stable of running backs. Don't be afraid to lean on that. Just never know.
Rice at Louisiana. We've been talking about the American, but hey, the Sun Belt is loving this Mountain West slow start as well, because teams like the Cajuns, teams like James Madison, Georgia Southern are sitting there with a big smile on their face. They don't forget about the Cajuns. So they'll get that one done.
Favorite comment of the college football week, it was that Louisiana knows exactly what to do with Rice. I like a little etouffee.
Yeah, that's good. That was good. Abilene Christian at Tulsa. Let's get Trey Lamb in the win column to get this thing started. I do apologize for everybody. We're going to start trying to roll through these, and most of these are,
you kind of know what you're getting.
Not a whole lot to talk about. We talked about Kennesaw. And Jeff, my antivirus is popping up on my screen here. I'm getting hacked.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting hacked here. We already talked about most of these games. Maine at Liberty. Liberty too. Okay. They're loving it. Boise State getting beat like that. I don't think people hate Boise State, but they get the benefit of the doubt. similar to some of the big brands. And I think the Liberties, the James Madisons, Louisianas are loving that because it opens the door. It opens it up. Now, here's the other thing, Jeff. I'm getting way off topic again, but I got to say it. You know what's going to happen, don't you?
What you got?
South Florida is going to be ranked like 12 next week. And you know why they're going to be ranked that high? Because they play Florida. And the AP voters and the coaches are going to be like, now watch this. Let's go get Florida a big top 15 win. You just watch.
That's a very good point.
You just
point.
watch. And then they'll keep them there to get to. Now, obviously, if they win that game, they probably deserve to be there. Then if they keep it close, they'll keep them in that top 25 because then they'll play Miami. And let's get Miami a big top 25 win. Just watch. You just watch. But then if South Florida loses anybody in the American, they won't be ranked anymore. You just watch. Austin P at middle, 9.5, Jeff. I'm
going to be hammering that. I mean,
right?
Absolutely hammering that. I don't know. Our good friend Rico knows we were going back and forth. I don't know if Vegas just doesn't know about the Blue Raiders at all with their win totals at 4.5 and this game at 9.5. But my Blues showing. I'm going. Yeah, I'm taking 9.5.
Ain't no doubt. North Alabama at Western Kentucky. Give me Western Kentucky. Give me McIver. Give me Matt Henry. They're just going to keep rolling. That's going to be one of the most fun duos in the country to watch this year. And I'll give you the credit, Jeff. You called it preseason. Missouri State at USC. Boy, Missouri State's got a tough start to the season. They get SMU at home, their home opener. Hey, welcome to FBS football. You know what I mean?
Come up here. Come on.
Yeah, go to California, then you get ACC contender at home. It's going to be tough for them. Southeast Louisiana at La Tech. Listen, I think La Tech's going to be better than a lot of people think. I think they'll get started with this one. UTEP at Utah State. Malachi Nelson. That's what I want to see. And I especially want to see it because now the Boise fans are like, well, that's what I want to see, right? But has he found a home? A place that he's comfortable? Can Scotty Walden, can that offense put him in good positions? Can they figure out a run game so that Malachi Nelson is not second and long, third and long every time he comes out on the field?
Well, you got a great crop of wide receivers with Kenny Odom and those boys out there. He's going to have targets to throw on the outside. Be excited for the Miners. Trending up.
Yep, no doubt about it. And Utah State too, though. I want to – a lot of people think they're going to be competitive in the Mountain West, and why not at this point, right? So let's see. Maybe the Mountain West can rebound and end up having some of their teams that were maybe supposed to be their second tier, behind Boise and UNLV. See if they can pop up there and make that a competitive conference this year. Bryant at New Mexico State. Give me New Mexico State there. Going on to the MAC, what we haven't talked about, Ball State at Purdue. The MAC and the Big Ten, man, they played some great games. They had 3 good ones last night. Ball State at Purdue. I don't think either of them are expected to be, very good this year. So don't really know which way to go there.
Not great. Kyle Kelly back at quarterback should be the starter if I'm not mistaken. So dual threat kid, athlete, gives you a chance. This could be one, Sprouse. I'm not betting on it, but don't be surprised if Ball State gives Purdue all they can handle too.
Hey, does Kent State get in the win column at home versus Merrimack?
God, I hope so.
It might be their only shot. Toledo at Kentucky. 9.5-point dogs on the road. Can they go down to SEC country again and get another win? Vegas definitely showing Toledo some respect here.
They should. They deserve respect. Tucker Gleason, coming back, a lot of continuity on offense. We talked about the defense, especially that secondary, Avery Smith. Like, they're going to give Kentucky, I think, every bit. I'm telling you, the MAC, man. People talk down about the MAC, but they're out there competing in week 1.
Right, no doubt. They're going to get one of them. They'll get one of these wins here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I want to see Toledo. I think Toledo again. The MAC also, like, if you're Toledo and you're the favorite in the MAC, and you saw what happened to Boise, now you can go down to Kentucky and get a win. And then you got Western Kentucky on your schedule.
That's exactly right.
You got a chance now. Holy Cross at NIU. Give me NIU there, and I'd be tempted to take them at -11. No.
Yeah, we had their head coach on last week. Talked about that stable of running backs. They're going to ground and pound and loves that defensive front. So yeah, I think they win big.
Yep. And then Eastern Michigan at Texas State. Texas State's going to have a big target on their back all year long, even from non-Sunbelt teams. 2 touchdown favorites here at home. I think that place will be rocking. There's a lot of positivity, a lot of momentum in San Marcos. We saw it there when it's electric, and it's a crazy place to play. So I'll take Texas State there.
And GJ Kinney, we trust. Young quarterback, debuting, start of the season. I think they handle it.
Yep. Nevada at Penn State, boy, 43.5. I think Penn State is going to be really good this year. I would venture to say that they're an actual top 2 or 3 team in the country. Just based on what they got coming back, and we got a chance to see them live last year. They got some guys, man. So that's going to be tough for Nevada. Bucknell at Air Force. I'll tell you, I don't know about -31 for Air Force because I don't think they're going to score a ton of points. I think it might be 28-3, something like that. But need Air Force they struggled last year in their opener against an FCS opponent. So need Air Force to step up and get back in the mix with Army and Navy. New Mexico at Michigan. Gonna be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see much, there. I love their running back room, absolutely loaded from the FCS. He, quarterback coming over from Idaho. Following the head coach. Just don't think they can get it done against Michigan.
Yep. Fresno State at home versus Georgia Southern. It's a pick 'em. As a Statesboro native.
You really are buying into this thing.
I'm nervous about this game for Georgia Southern. I am. I just don't like. I like Georgia. So if this game's in Statesboro, give me Georgia Southern all day long. I'm nervous about all of the extracurriculars that are going into these next 2 weeks for Georgia Southern. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. The travel, you staying somewhere different for a week and a half. You've probably got family flying out there. You got so many distractions, and you got these expectations this year for Georgia Southern. Going to be close. I would stay totally away from it. I'm sort of leaning still, taking Georgia Southern to win it. Fresno has already got a game under their belt though, too. So they get some jitters out. Maybe they can't turn it over again. You know what I mean? I mean, the offense looked all right on that first drive, and then they started turning it over. Georgia Southern. I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. Fresno State at home, that crowd's always it's a great place to play. It's going to be rocking. Yeah, they got to get the run game going. They couldn't do it last week. Georgia Southern's very talented, not only in the running back room, O.J. Arnold, but on the outside, and J.C. French at quarterback. I mean, I like the Eagles, man. I do.
Yeah, Hawaii at Arizona, man. I haven't seen anything about Alajado's health, but if he's not 100%, that's going to be really tough for Hawaii.
I think it's going to be tough either way. Noah Fafita is a great quarterback for Arizona. I'm staying away from this game with an injury.
A lot of people like Colorado State, Jeff, this year. And why not? You got a veteran quarterback. We've been talking about BFN for a couple of years, and he's the guy now, right? He's the veteran. He's been there a long time. He's the leader. Going to Washington at Washington's a tough place to play. No matter how good or bad Washington is, probably stay away from this game.
Yeah, shout out Matt Mumme in that offense. Want to see them light it up against Washington. Like you said, you mentioned the senior leaden quarterback. He's been there a while. It's time for him to make the step, make the jump, lead this team, and just have a good performance against Washington. Protect the ball.
Yep. Let's finish off with the rest of the Sun Belt games. I'm going to tell you what, man, Hattiesburg's going to be electric this weekend. They get Mississippi State at home. 2 touchdown dogs at home, Jeff.
Love
like a home dog.
Home dog.
I'm worried about the offensive line for Southern Miss. I know Mississippi State is nothing special, but they're going to have some dudes. They're going to have some physical players on the defensive line. And I think that's the one big question mark for Southern Miss is how's that offensive line going to hold up? So we'll see. I think Braxton gives him a shot, right? But you got to be able to protect him a little bit. You got to keep him upright.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the home dog with the points. I could see that being in play. I don't know if they quite win it, though.
ODU, I mean, they're no pushover, Jeff. We told Josh Pate that.
Yes, we did.
Hey, you're going on the road to Indiana. The real question here is how many tackles does Jason Henderson get to get his? Remember, he's what 100 and it was 134 or something tackles
like that,
away
yeah.
from the all-time record. He put 10 or 12, I'm sure, especially in a game like this, right? But I think they'll keep it close for a little bit, and we'll see how good Indiana is. I don't know if they're going to be on that same trajectory they were last year.
Yeah, I think Indiana's pretty good. You know, they get the transfer quarterback from Cal. He can run around. He's a dual threat guy. Can't wait to watch Kojo in this game. Those junior college receivers that transferred in. I don't think they'll win this game. I think it's going to be tough. Indiana's a good program. Cignetti knows what he's doing. But I just can't wait to watch this offense.
Yep. Marshall last year played Virginia Tech and Ohio State pretty tight to start the year. They've just got a completely different team, and they don't have Mike Green. So it's going to be tough. You're going on the road to Georgia. That's going to be tough. Georgia's one of those teams that is physically different from everybody else. Coastal at Virginia. What do you think?
I think we got a chance. Some people are really high on Virginia, saying that they reloaded reloaded in the offseason. I'm not so sure about that, but Tim Beck going into year 3, I believe. This is when year 3 or 4, whichever it is, like this is where you should see the jump from a head coach. We always talk about it. Like 2 years, really not enough time. That 3rd and 4th year is where you should see the production really tick up. So excited to watch this one.
See the mug, Jeff.
Shant's up. Steeple.
Give me the shant. Give me the shant. Steeple in the chat.
He goes by Numbers Matters in Football.
Oh, that's Steeple?
He changed his name. The artist
what are we doing,
formerly known as Steeple _PC_51.
Wait. Let me scroll back through these chats here.
That's why he was talking trash to Joe.
Wait. Now, Steeple, are you related to Dre? Is that part of the family too? I'm reading the message board. He's talking about Dre Pinckney. Is that a relative here? Do we have a new relative connection here?
We gotta be, right?
I just picked him, Steeple. What are you talking about? Anyway, hey, we gotta get going. Weber State at James Madison. James Madison, let's get this playoff campaign started. You remember what I said, Jeff, preseason several months ago? I built the bridge. Remember, I partnered with the largest bridge building company in the Southeast. We built a bridge to Harrisonburg, and I got James Madison going undefeated in the non-conference. So you better beat Weber State. Okay.
Can't wait to see this offense.
Southeast Missouri State at Arkansas State. Jeff, you know who played a little defensive end at SEMO?
Who you got?
Wiki Jean.
Did he really?
One of my best friends from high school. Yeah. Played a little D end at SEMO. Went up there. Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Not a whole lot going on up there, but my boy Wiki's got a farm up there now.
Yeah,
so unbelievable.
Houston Lillard, brother of Damian Lillard, played quarterback at SEMO.
How about that? They're at Arkansas State. Give me Arkansas State though. Sorry, Wick.
Yeah.
Morgan State at South Alabama. I want to see. Can any team in the group of 5 with a stout offensive line and a great running back just hand him the damn ball and get on with it? I don't understand it. Give Kentrell Bullock the ball like 26 times. I don't want to see, Boise goes from giving Genty the ball 30 times to giving their 2 backs a combined, 17 carries, 18 carries last night. It's unacceptable. South Alabama. Come on, Major. I know you're a quarterback, Major. Let's hand the ball off.
Let's
get this thing on the road, huh?
I'm with it.
Nichols at Troy. I think Troy's going to be quite a bit better this year. Nichols, though, already has a game under their belt. So, we'll see.
Goose is on the loose, baby.
Here's the other thing for Troy for a home game, home opener. Auburn plays tonight. So I know that's something they always have to compete with is Auburn playing. But look, Auburn plays tonight. So there's no excuse, Troy students, Troy faithful. Get out there. Get down there to the vet. Watch your guys play. Georgia State at Ole Miss. You see TJ Finley ended up at Georgia State?
No, I didn't see that.
But he's out. He NCAA, he can't play week 1. So, yeah. Interesting development there.
Yeah, it is.
Very interesting development 15th there.
15th team?
Yeah, but that's going to be tough for Ole Miss. I know we got some voicemails, and then we'll get on with it. Sorry to rush this. By the way, guys, if you're listening and you're like, guys, you're going through this too fast. Once we get out of this first 2-3 weeks and we don't have nobody's playing a conference game, these games will be cut in half, and then you get the midweek game. So we'll be able to spend a lot more time on all of these games. And Jeff and I will figure out a way to do it a little better next Friday. But hope we covered everything you wanted to. Let's get to the voicemail, 615-900-4286. I know we got a special one.
Yes, we do.
This morning.
And before we get to that, surprise, I don't know if we accidentally skipped over it, but North Texas does have Lamar 24.5-point favorites. I love this North Texas offense. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Murph Sprouse, this is Chris from Georgia Southern. I am sitting at the airport waiting to board a plane to fly out west to watch the Georgia Southern Eagles take on the Fresno State Bulldogs in a great group of 5 matchup. About 50 of us Eagles are headed out to face the Red Wave in Fresno, and then about another 500 will be ready for week 2 in Southern Cal in the Coliseum. GATA, Hell Southern. God bless the group of 5. God bless the group of 5 guys.
Appreciate that, brother. Be safe traveling out there. And I think he's going to, they're staying out there. He's going to try and hit up the original Domenico's in Alameda. So that'll be pretty cool.
Laney special. Don't deviate.
It's a good one. Let's keep this party rolling. Stay in the Sun Belt.
Group of 5 guys. Iverson Reed, Coastal Carolina alumnus. Finally, we're here. Made it. College football season is finally back, and can't wait to get into it. But first and foremost, I did not expect USF to smack Boise the way they did. The quarterback they got, that guy's a problem. And for a while, I thought it was going to be a case of defense, but no, Alex Golich, he has something going on down there. And so regarding Coastal, from what we've heard from Coach Beck, it seems like MJ Morris is going to be the one that takes the snap. That's going to be under center first at the Virginia game tomorrow. And looking forward to see what he can do under the new scheme of the air raid with our new OC and with our defensive coordinator, Jeremiah Johnson, JJ. Was able to get him from La Tech. He's going to be bringing in a 3-3-5 type of scheme. So that's going to be a new type of defense that we haven't seen before in Conway. Drew Hollingshead is the OC. Sorry, his name is slipping my mind. And I like that we were kind of a trendsetter in the G5 level of hiring a GM to manage roster and all of the stuff that goes on with negotiating, because Beck was, transparent in saying that he wasn't really great at negotiating like that on that type of level. So having a GM to do all of that type of stuff is huge in the sense that, as he said himself, that he can be a football coach again and do what he was, paid to do. And I think that's big going into year 3, because right now I do think it's a make or break type of year for him with the fan base, in my opinion. I think it's a make or break year for him. So this is going into this Virginia game tomorrow at 6, it's going to be pretty big to get off on a positive start and see where we go from there. Thank you for all you guys do. God bless Group of 5 guys. God bless.
Appreciate it, Iverson. Yeah, MJ Morris, excited to watch him go against Virginia.
I'll tell you, Iverson, he's pretty sharp now.
He's dialed in.
Young alum, in tune with the program, in tune with the schemes and all that stuff. I like that.
Mid-season form in week 1.
Yeah.
Iverson, very well done. All right, we got 2 more, and the last one's going to be a special one.
Hey, Group of 5 guys, Tom here. It's currently Wednesday evening, and I cannot wait for week 1. Looking forward to tucking into some, especially Boise USF, and of course ECU State for the Americans tomorrow. I can't believe that it doesn't feel real that week 1's here. Kind of feels like a shorter off season than normal, but I just cannot wait. I wanted to give you guys my little preview of our game against Appetizer State. I was checking ticket sales. I mean, both allotments through the school sold out. Looks like there's about 500 left on the Charlotte side on Ticketmaster, and about 200 on the app side. So it's going to be a pretty Rams lower bowl. Now, they have priced these tickets pretty high. Looks like they're trying to get the most money out of the lower bowl rather than the most fans, because I bet they could have opened up that lower bowl and gotten another 5,000 to 10,000 in there. But I'm thinking probably about 35,000, which is great, and it's going to be awesome environment. I think both fan bases are going to show out. I know App State's going to show out. This is our first chance really on a big stage. We haven't had a bowl game in the Continental U.S. or a neutral site game. I don't think we've had a neutral site game ever. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing what our fan base has done and how far we've come in such a short time. The trash talk's been flowing around the office. There are so many Charlotte App grads at my work, and it's just what makes college football so great. I mean, I promise you those App fans in my office care more about playing us than Monroe, and likewise, us playing like a North Texas or a Rice. It's just regional games is what makes college football so great, and I have never heard this much Charlotte and App State talk in my office as well as throughout the city than this week. It's just awesome to see. We've named the starting quarterback Connor Harrell. I would have gone Loftus, but Harrell offers some ground game for us. App hasn't announced it's going to be Swan. Let's be honest, if he's healthy, I think everyone pretty much knows it's going to be A.J. Swan. In terms of a preview, I mean, you got to give App the edge because we haven't beaten them ever, but we don't know anything about either of these guys. Coaches are tight-lipped. There's no depth chart. We only know our starting QB. So really this could go any way, and the betting lines reflect that. But anyway, just wanted to, if you guys had any thoughts on the game, can't wait to hear you guys. I need to catch up on the one this morning. Can't wait to hear you guys on Friday. College football's back, baby. Hopefully I'm not depressed out of my mind post-game. We'll have to see. Maybe the Niners will pull through for once. But go Niners, go Group of 5. Take care, y'all.
Thanks, Tom. If you happen to be depressed, feel free
Give
to
us a
call.
call.
Feel free to call the hotline. On the flip side, if Charlotte beats App, I know we'll be getting a call from Stu's Right, probably walking out of the
100%.
stadium or something. So, going to be a great game. Can't wait to watch it.
Yep. Let's get to the last one.
Oh boy.
Oh. Oh. I mean,
Swag Bear's back.
I know from my past of being on the show, I was not the best gambler. And just because I'm no longer on the podcast does not mean that my money is still pouring out of my pocket into Vegas' hands. In my defense, you guys were so high. I mean, higher than anything I've ever seen on this show about Boise State. I think y'all were more high on Boise State than we were with Cincinnati back in 2021. And these guys are piss poor, atrocious. I get it. You flew across the country to go play South Florida. But Sprouse made a good point a few shows ago talking about how the crowd's not going to be that involved at 5 o'clock kickoff. Well, buddy, let me tell you, Boise State may have jumped up 7-0, but South Florida said, hold my beer. We're going to stop this noise. It's bad. The show's great. I think y'all did a fantastic job. Will I take your betting advice going forward? Probably not, because the number one team that y'all said was in the Group of 5 is getting dismantled by South Florida. And Sprouse, maybe you got a little chip on your shoulder. Maybe the Bulls are maybe they're sharpening the horns. Maybe they got something to play for this year. But Boise State, my God, lose the best running back in the country. You play like total shit. Still gonna watch the show. Still gonna lose some money. Love you guys. Bye.
It's atrocious. It's atrocious.
Here's the deal, Swag. So let me push back just a little bit. And I know we got to get out of here because Sprouse, we both got to get to work. If you listen to the show that we previewed that game, yes, we've been high on Boise State all offseason, as they should. I still think they're going to be a great team. We didn't say bet on that game. Buddy, You got to read the fine print. You got to listen to every show. You can't just tune in for a little bit and then check out. And when you called me the other day, it's asking about Hawaii. I believe we spoke about Boise State and South Florida. And I said, Byron Brown gives you a chance in any game. I'm not betting on that game. So easy, buddy. Easy. Good to hear from you, though.
Listen, great call. I am distraught at how wrong I was about Boise State. I mean, I can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe what we witnessed last night. So for that, I apologize to the world, because I told Jesse, I told a number of people, I said, I don't think that they're like just Mountain West or Group of Five good. I was like, I think they're good. And they are not. They are not. So, I mean, again, yeah, I think they'll be fine. I also, Jeff, I got a text from a source, a very good source of mine, a well-respected, a coach in the industry, that texted me after our rankings came out and basically said, Boise's not what you think. Something like that.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna say who it was, and I thought it was just okay, somebody's jealous that Boise's gonna be, good again. And maybe they were right.
One game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hey, we got to get out of here, you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Monday is Labor Day. We will do a show. We'll probably push it back an hour or something like that. Just so we don't have to wake up at the crack of dawn. And so we can watch more football Friday night, Saturday night. We got football Sunday. Cannot wait. Going to be an awesome weekend. Make sure you get your Decker Great Coffee to get yourself through it. Make sure you hit follow on all the social platforms at Group of Five Guys. Subscribe to the channel, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network. Share with your family and friends. Jump on over to that Levels Discord. Click the link in our bio. We'll be chatting, Jeff especially, back and forth with some people on some of these Group of Five games. So if you're one of those people that found us from Levels, welcome. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're live 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great weekend. We're out of here.